Yeah, we are.
The broadcast is live.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
How are you?
Everybody who's nobody. I'm just going to say hello, Missy, because that's the only guarantee that's going to be here.
There is a number up there, but the number is 0. Okay. There is number.
But actually, before we start too much, I'm going to welcome people because we're going to put this up on the podcast. And here's the deal. So this is the Tipsy Ellipses episode. It's okay. I'm putting the Tipsy and Tipsy Ellipses tonight. This is the Tipsy Ellipses episode of the Mom and ... podcast. And if this is your first time tuning in, this is a much different format than our typical, I guess we call them the numbered episodes, the ones that have like a little number by them.
Maybe don't start with the Tipsy. I don't know. That's where I'd start.
What do you mean?
The best place to start. Like if you've never listened before.
Oh yeah, this probably would be an interesting place to start.
Yeah, like maybe you should push pause, go listen to a regular episode, and then do the Tipsies.
Yeah, it just depends. Whatever your personality type is. If you think this is for you, go ahead and stick with it. If not, number 13, I highly recommend with Allison Tedford. We just released today. It's an amazing episode. Amazing. We are very professional there. We will not be very professional here. We will not have a guest, and it's live, and we do not edit it. So it's kind of a mess, but it is a recap of the previous month's episodes. We talk a little bit of what's coming up in the month ahead. But again, we just like to put this little asterisk at the beginning for anybody who's showing up for the first time. This is not our typical episode. It's a bonus. It is a bonus.
Yeah, and sometimes people show up on Facebook and watch us, and sometimes they don't. I don't know. Ooh, there is a number here, but I don't know.
It's probably Kristen or my mom.
I think Leanne said maybe she was coming, or my mom. But I can't. This is funky. We're doing it in the group for the first time, and there is something weird with the comments. So if we don't comment back to you, it's something's weird, so we'll go into the comments later in Facebook and respond if it doesn't work here.
We decided, because we have our Facebook page, for those of you who don't spend as much time with the ins and outs and nuances of Facebook, there's a difference between pages and groups. So our page is public. That's something that anybody can go to, but we have a private group. And we just thought that it'd be fun to do this in the group for once instead of on the page. So we will see.
We'll see how it goes.
If we end up breaking technology by doing that. But if not, you'll still be able to listen to this on the podcast, and you can go back and listen to it at any time I guess you have to join the group in order to listen to it because it'll live in the group. So it is called,
but it is available where the podcast is. So.
Yeah, it's called Mom and ... but it's community.
Yeah.
So if you are looking for that, please drop on in. We will do our best. We approve people as fast as we can. We do a little quick check to make sure that you're not a Russian bot or anything suspicious. But but more than anything, it's just a chance for us to regroup and kind of pull our thoughts together for all the great episodes that we've had for the month ahead. And, Missy and I don't see a lot of other adults. So it's just, if nothing else, the chance to say hello, Missy.
It's so great. I did go out in the world this week. I'm fully vaccinated. And so I'm still being super, super careful, but I'm like running errands with just a little more freedom, and I'm trying to think of all the things I did. I just felt wild. Like I was out going and doing things. And
did you go into stores?
I did. I went into Costco. I have not been into Costco since probably January of 2020. I went into Nordstrom. Have I been in Nordstrom? The last time I went in Nordstrom, I went to return something on March 13th, 2020.
Yeah.
And I remember talking when I was making the return, I talked to the man and said, "What do you think? Are you guys going to close?" And he goes, "Oh, we will never close. That's crazy. None of these stores around here are ever going to close." And
then the next day,
I went in, I had to return some things, and I actually tried on some clothes and bought a couple things. And
oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. Well, tomorrow is our second shot.
You're almost there.
I'm almost there. Which, I mean, I don't think our entryway could take what you're talking about doing the returns. It is packed full because we are super, super, super COVID averse, safety minded. So yeah, I am really testing the return policies of most of corporate America. I've got some Target. I've got some athlete. How do you pronounce it? Athleta or athleta? Athleta. I think I may have missed it. So if anybody needs any extra small jog bras, they are not for me. They were for my daughter. They were even too small for 15-year-old skinny girl. So, but I think we may have missed the window on that, which is going to hurt because those were not cheap.
They probably will be very nice to you and give you store credit, is my guess.
I'm hoping my strategy for returning, and I hate to put this much thought into it, but I usually like get a little zhuzhed up. Like I like to like get made up so I look like I'm a legitimate human. And then I usually go on a weekday when they're not as busy.
Yep.
Which I don't know if that works against it or for it. Like maybe when they're so busy, they care less. They're just like, just go, just take your money and leave, lady. So I don't know. I try to give them like the space and that I'm honoring their time by not bothering them, like when they could be making money from some sale. So I don't know.
Weekends, they don't. Like, I feel like they don't have time to think. Like if your sale is old and they need to get a manager or something like that, it's just too hard on the weekend. It's so much better.
Yeah. And it's hard. It's hard on me, honestly. So maybe it's more for myself that I'm doing it this way.
I don't like to do either. I drag my feet. Yesterday I was so prepared. I printed out my return for this thing I ordered 2 pair of jeans from the Gap. I don't know what I was thinking. They are not for me.
COVID jeans. Good for you.
Bad. They look like clown pants. They're ridiculous. They were horrible. So I need to return them. I printed out the thing. I put it in my car. Guess what I did not put in my car? The jeans.
The actual return. Oh my God. I did that with an inflatable pool once. And yeah. And I think I even have a Facebook post. It'll probably come up in my memories from like 10 years ago is when we still lived in Seattle. It was like, when driving across town to a Target to return your items, be sure to bring said items.
Yeah, I got to my first stop and I was like, that's weird.
Oh, no.
I looked all over the car and then I thought, I don't also remember carrying those out to the car.
If I don't remember mine, it'll be bad because they are 3 ottomans.
Oh, yeah.
3 giant, well, they're not giant, but they're ottomans. And they're giant when they're taking up my entryway. I've got those. And then I've got, so I'll try to make this the shortest version of this story. When we were trying to do our spring break getaway, so the dogs, we dropped them off the day before so that we could have time to pack, and they went to their little doggy daycare. And hopefully the regular doggy daycare we take them to isn't listening, because we've taken Bear there for years with no incidents. I don't know. He caused an incident. He was part of an incident. I don't know what happened. I didn't ask any questions. I just paid the vet bills. He had been asked not to return, and I honor that request. But because of that, here we were supposed to be leaving the next morning. We had no doggy care for our doggies. And so we were going to a neighbor's birthday party. Very socially distanced, very on the porch. We were just going to pop in. Boop, boop, boop. So we go over there just to be like, first of all, we showed up an hour and a half late because we had to go. Not only did we have to go pick up the dog, but then I was like, oh my God, if we have to take these dogs to Louisiana, where we were going, I was like, I need my Volvo back. We can't take him in my husband's little sporty car. And Volvo was in the shop. So I'm calling Volvo. Literally, they had just closed, and luckily the sales manager there, Volvo Vost, thank you so much. She took the call and she was like, oh my God, like she was just leaving. She's the only one with the key to be able to get back to their, secure lot. So we rushed over there to get that. So by the time we got over finally to this party, I'm so sorry. We were literally heading out to the party, like looking all cute and stuff, and the phone rang. And so that's how late
you got there. We just like sweaty and drained.
Yeah, we were just a disaster and just couldn't even think straight. And and it's his birthday, and I'm all like, let's talk about us and our problems. So I felt pretty bad about that. But as we're like talking about that, the next door neighbor, who has just been amazing, like for the past couple of months, she will come over and she has a special like stash of treats that she'll give to Bear to
Oh.
like try to make friends with him because he's such a beast. So she's like trying to tame the monster. And so they have kind of like a relationship. And she's like, well, you know what? You know, Bear knows me. So he'd probably be good with me coming into the house. Because that's the thing. No one's been in our house for a year. Oh. So anybody's a burglar to these dogs. And I'm like, oh, she's like the closest thing to not a burglar. I brought my son's best friend Conrad over. I don't think he wants to watch Bear. So she offered to take care of them, which was so super sweet. And now this is like the longest route to me getting back to the fact that while she was watching Bear, the thing that he has not done in the 7-8 months we've lived in this house is jump over our fence. But he did it on her watch. Because he's a German Shepherd and he just went.
Well, he's something German Shepherd and something, right? He's giant.
German Shepherd and like just spring loaded giant. Yeah. And so he made it over the fence. So I have spent, that's the other thing that bringing us all the way back to the stuff crowding my entryway. I bought these 36-inch troughs, these cocoa line troughs or whatever. Yep. So we're putting them up on the fence and putting tall spiky plants in them.
Spiky plants.
To give the appearance of more fence so that maybe he will not do the jump again. But I bought a bunch off Amazon that were like $50. And then a couple days later, Home Depot had them for $24. And so I was like, pfft. And luckily I only buy stuff off Amazon that says free returns.
Yes.
So I have 3 free return troughs laying in my hallway with my ottomans.
With your ottomans.
Yeah. So yes, I'm so jealous of you, and you're actually getting to return things.
You're almost there.
That'll be me.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
In the next Tipsy Ellipses, we maybe can be in the same room.
Wouldn't that be bizarre? I don't know if would that like build ill will with people who are like, damn you and your shots.
Maybe we shouldn't be.
Yeah, we'll be on the down low with our vaccination.
I know we just announced to everybody that we're.
No, but you know what? I just got the latest note from the reason that Missy and I have vaccines is not because we snuck in line. It's because we had volunteered at a couple of vaccine events, which involved standing outside for several hours and being pretty dang exposed to a lot of people that may or may not have COVID. Don't know if it was the smartest decision, but we wanted to be part of.
I just tried to shut it down. I was like, oh, wait, I just spent like, I don't know. My shift was 6+ hours. I can't remember how long I was there. Like,
yeah, we had double masks.
Everybody came through. Like, not super close, but pretty close because I had to write down all their information and everything. And at some point during the day, the one, like a person came through and they were like, oh, thank you for volunteering. And he goes, I assume all the volunteers are vaccinated. And I was like, no, we might be at the end of the day, but there's no guarantee. But no, we're not vaccinated. The nurses are, but we're not.
Yeah, at the end of the day, volunteers may or may not be vaccinated if there's extra supply. So it's kind of like a roll of the dice, but we wanted to do it just because it seemed like the right thing to be doing because they needed help. But like I get a thing now every Thursday with their volunteer request for the weekend. And it specifically said on there, it says, you will not get a vaccine. You have to log in. I think it was like 14 or 15 hours of volunteer time now.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which I respect. I mean, that totally makes sense. But
I'd love to go back and do it again. I haven't been going back. I want other people who would like to get the shot to have a chance. And it's like, we did it, I think you and I did it through different organizations, but I mean, the one I did, it opened at 5 p.m. and by 5:02, the slots were full, maybe even before that. Yeah. And so there's been such a high demand that I'm sort of waiting. I feel like the demand will go down and then.
I think so, especially when the temperature goes up here in Texas. And now if they're having these requirements for a certain number of hours, I think the demand's going to go up. So we've been kind of holding back too, but especially now that we'll be fully vaccinated, now we're going to have to like get some scarves or something because it's going to be getting hot. Even we were there on like a 65-degree day, but you're between a bunch of cars. It's hot. And you are just in a giant parking lot in between cars. They all have their engines on. So it was It was hot. So once the Texas temperatures start rolling in, it's going to be even hotter, but I will still volunteer. I will go back.
Little mini fans.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to get toasty.
Yeah, it's going to get toasty, but we'll figure out a solution. I feel like it's the least I can do for being put in a situation where we're safe to be able to go and greet those people and hand them their papers and everything. So yes. Yes, we did not sneak in any lines. We didn't some of those people who fly to another state to try to take advantage of stuff.
I understand desperately wanting it, even though I talked to someone today who desperately does not want it. And I'm just, yeah, I know that happens too. But, I understand really wanting it, but there are ways if you, I don't know. Now it's open in a lot of places. You just have to find a place that has shots.
Yes. And I think it's not going to be that much longer until we are where it's just like, no, please come get it. It's like going to be like ads on all the Walgreens that are like, come get your shot. Walk-ins welcome. Because they'll have the supply. And as much as I want there to be still the huge demand, I think there is going to be, especially in certain states, people who are either wary or just completely averse. Who knows? So we'll see. It's playing out how it's playing out. But I'm grateful
to be
hopefully being able. Literally, all I want to do is return my Target ottomans. I'm not going to be going out partying.
Can you not do that curbside? You can't do it. Like you can't process it online.
No, Nordstrom's lets you do curbside stuff, like where you return it and then you show up and you just pop your trunk and they take it. I don't think Target does it. Yeah. So we'll see. But yes, what else is going on with you besides your exciting returns?
I know that was so exciting. And the other thing I did this week, I did it today, is I had a CASA visit for one of the kids that I advocate for, and they're kind of far away. So I had a good few hours in the car over the course of the day. So I listened to that podcast that you recommended in today's episode.
Was it Jim's Body? What's his name?
Tom Brown's Body? No.
Tom Brown's Body.
Tom Brown's Body. Well,
Tom Brown's Body. I'm great with names.
Anyway, I'm so bad with names.
Bobby Bo's Body.
Like somebody's body. So I'm in the 4th episode, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And there are some characters.
Welcome to Texas is what I say about that one. Yeah.
Yes.
It's really good, though.
It's really good, really well done. And so, I got to do that today. Got to be in the car by myself for a little while and then visit my cute little guy. And it was fun.
That's so awesome you do that. I think we should do a whole episode about that sometime.
We should do a whole like foster care, all the foster things that you're doing and that I do. Yeah, there's a lot to be done there. It's all cool. So I think you have a story to tell today.
Oh, what?
Your dinner.
Oh, my dinner. Yeah, I'm starting to sober up a little bit now. I was really nervous there for a while because, I know we call it Tipsy Ellipses, but I didn't want to be like sloppy drunk Ellipses. I have like a little bit more of this wine left, but it's staying behind my Topo Chico right now. Because, okay, so here's what we did. We, my husband had ordered for Valentine's Day-ish. What day? Was it Valentine's Day? I think it was Valentine's Day or dinner. It was Uchiko. He did like this huge dinner at Uchiko. Okay, see, I'm tipsy. Uchiko?
Yeah.
Uchiko? Yes.
Uchiko.
Amazing sushi, that's a feat in Texas, really.
He's a world-renowned chef.
Yeah, amazing. So my husband for Valentine's Day had ordered this big feast, like a special dinner that they were doing for Valentine's Day. And then anybody who lives in Texas knows that Valentine's Day week, whatever, was also our big freeze, the Texas freeze. So it wasn't quite frozen in the sense that it wasn't at the point when our house was 45 degrees and we were living in a tent in the living room. But it was just enough that like the roads were getting slippery and it was starting to snow.
Weekend,
yeah. So they closed down Uchiko for their employees to keep them safe, and so they didn't have to travel in and stuff, which I totally respect. So we have been putting off the meal, and finally kind of had this window, and so he had ordered it without me realizing it was the first of the month. So he ordered our redo of Valentine's Day was from like 6:30 to 7:30 tonight, with the kids in the other room watching some movie. So, but yeah, so it was, oh my God. Okay. So we're probably going to be showing some weird photos. This is just a portion. Can you see this?
That's not all of it.
That's not even all of it. That is a portion of the food. It was, I should have taken the lids off because it's just gorgeous. Anybody who's ever eaten there, I mean, every molecule of food you just want to eat. The sauces are amazing. The food's amazing. We ordered, because my daughter's a vegetarian, so we got her a couple little vegetarian rolls. And since the only thing my son will eat is like chicken nuggets or whatever, so we got their version of like the most chicken nuggets that you can get. They were probably like $40, I don't know. But I mean, he was just like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever eaten.
Yeah, because that's not a chicken nugget.
No, it's exquisite. It's exquisite. But along with the Valentine's meal came a bottle of wine, which usually would be fine, except for because I knew we were going to be getting that much food. I didn't eat lunch.
Oh.
Because I was kind of saving myself for the big dinner. And so, I just had a normal couple of glasses of wine, but like I got up to go grab something, and I was like, oh my God, I can't remember which room of the house I'm going to. So yeah, it hit me. And I even was looking at the bottle. I was like, it says 14% alcohol. Is that a lot? And he's like, if it's a beer, like that's for wine, I think that's normal.
I guess. So I don't know percents. Mark always will say things. He loves craft beers and all, he loves all that. He'll be like, this one's blah, blah, blah % alcohol. And I don't know what that means.
Yeah. I think if you get a beer that's like 10 or 11% alcohol, that's like, woo, get a driver. So I think this was normal for a wine. I think it was just the empty stomach. So I that's why I said I was putting the Tipsy in the Tipsy Ellipses, but
hopefully you ate a lot and like soaked it up.
It is being absorbed by like 20 pounds of tuna, and I don't even know what. Oh my God, everything. So good. And the danger is it's not like super walking distance, and it's also not like a really pretty walk from our house because it's like across Lamar.
Yeah.
But we could walk there if we needed to. So it's really dangerous that we are in walking distance to there now. So yes, we just celebrated our Valentine's dinner, and then I came back
Valentine's Day.
And then Chris is watching tonight is the first Mariners baseball game. So that's like where his heart really is. I mean, Valentine's Day could not be better.
Really, his love for baseball.
Yes, his love for baseball. I think yesterday was the first game overall, and tonight's the first Mariners game, and he's a big Seattle Mariners fan. So that's going to be starting soon. So yes, that's where he is.
Awesome.
And I have my last sip of wine. I'm scared to drink it. It's going to like reactivate me or something. It was really good though.
While you're drinking now, what kind of wine was it? You don't know?
Something. I just know red or white. Red or white or pink or rosé, I guess it is.
All the colors.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we're more than halfway through and we haven't talked about any of our episodes.
So let's do our speed round.
Okay. Speed round. Boop, 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 boop.
I need my glasses for this, but we're going to hopefully, if anybody's listening or watching this, they have listened to the episodes, but maybe they're not caught up, or maybe they've never listened to us before. So we don't want to do spoilers, and we don't want to belabor things that maybe you've already heard in the episode. So we're going to try to speed round our favorite things we learned from each of our guests in March. And we had some really great guests in March. Like, did you go through the list and think, was that all in 1 month?
I know. I did think that, although Allison, technically we interviewed in 1 month and it aired in another month. So I wasn't sure where to put her. So we'll kind of like even lighter tease her.
We really won't spoil that. I mean, it just came out today. So even I have not listened to it yet. I mean,
I was listening
process, I saw some.
Trying to remember and get ready for the speed round. I actually was re-listening to some of the old episodes, And I just get sucked into it. I was trying to be like, oh, I'm just going to listen to some highlights and skip around. But then I found myself like a half hour later still listening. So I guess that's a good sign if you can listen to your own podcast and get into it. So that's a good sign.
It's hard to listen to your own voice.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. Okay, so we had, first of all, which episode number 9 was the habits episode with Jenny Remington. Love. That was the one we had to break up into 2 because that episode went so dang long. We started out with StrengthsFinder. That was the previous month. But then her habits one was this month.
Yeah. So my huge takeaway from that was willpower is not a factor. Like, it doesn't matter for your habits. Take that out of the equation and build good habits another way, which I won't get into that because I want you to listen to the episode, but I think about it all the time. Don't beat yourself up.
I thought about that like my 4th bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch today. I've developed a bad habit for that. So, but yes, my willpower was not strong. So yes, I need to be in the habit of a healthy person where I don't even walk by that cabinet or think about that. So yes, I obviously have some more work to do there. But my big takeaway, I loved it because I love how you will ask anybody, like, how long does it take to develop a new habit? Because you're trying to wait for the answer that they're like, oh, 15 minutes, Missy. That's all it takes.
I keep asking things that are like, did you do that in a month? Did you do that in 6 hours? Like, I want them to be like, here's the easiest way to do it.
Nope. So I love that she just kind of informed us that, yes, there is no easy way. There's no shortcut. But I did like, there was a couple of things. So her definition of, or answering the question of how long does it take to develop a new habit is, first of all, it depends. And the main things that she pointed out is how much you want it and how far away you are from it now.
Yeah.
And I thought that was 2 very important things to keep in mind. Is how much you want it is like how much stick-to-itness you're going to have and how willing you are to make those habits. And then, how far you away from it now. So that's just really honest, a reality check.
You know, sometimes we think our view is skewed, I guess. Sometimes we think we're closer and or farther away than we really are. And you have to be pretty honest with yourself to figure out where it is you stand right now.
Yes. And she had a great definition of discipline, which is discipline is remembering what you want. And also like why you want it. So that was really good. So yes, not to give any spoilers for anybody who wants to go back and listen to that. But she really gets into just the little touch of these micro habits and developing these good habits. Because the fact is, at the end of the day, when you've made 100 decisions, willpower is not going to get you through that last decision of whether you should eat 5 bowls of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You need to have the habits to get you through that versus willpower, because willpower will fail.
Yeah. You're out of decision-making capability at that point.
Yes, that is for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So that was Jenny. Now, then we had episode
Nancy.
10. 10 is Nancy Davis Coe. I should be showing some books. I've got 2.
Bring any of my books. I don't know if I brought any of them.
I've got them in stereo.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Nancy Davis Coe. So she wrote the Thank You Project, Cultivating Happiness, 1 letter of gratitude at a time. And she also does the podcast, The Midlife Mixtape, if anybody would like to listen to that. So what about you? What were your learnings from that?
So I could talk about this all day, and I know we're trying to do a speed round, so I'm not going to, but I'm fascinated by the brain science behind it. And you really, really can rewire your brain by practicing gratitude. And you can look at things through a completely different lens because you have rewired your brain, and that capability exists within us. We are like some sort of crazy creature that can grow a new limb. We can rewire our brains. And so I would like to do a whole episode on brain science. I just think it's fascinating.
Yes. What is that? Is the term is like neuroplasticity or something? It's the ability of the brain to
you're building
rewire
neural pathways that go back and forth. whatever you do every day, it makes a pathway, and like that super deep rut is built. So if you want to, you can rewire it. It just takes some work.
Yes. And you know what? The first half of the episode, we weren't even talking about the Thank You Project and gratitude. We were talking about all kinds of amazing stuff that she's doing for advocacy and amplifying voices of marginalized communities. So the first half is a really amazing deep dive in that. But focusing on the idea of the Thank You Project in the book, one of the main takeaways I had, because it does feel a little weird. You're like, oh, I'm going to send this big letter of gratitude to this person that's not expecting it. Like, is that weird? Are they going to think I'm like over the top? But they actually have science and studies that show that we completely overestimate how awkward we're going to feel doing it, and we completely underestimate how much the recipient will appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was very interesting, just kind of reassuring for people who maybe are like, and we're going to be reminding people about this in the group with the Thank You Thursdays, be like, hey, have you sent your letter? Have you done your whatever? And also this idea that if you are really hesitant still, just write the letter. You don't have to send it. Just try it. If you don't think it's going to make you feel great, then try it. If you still don't agree, then rip it up, and nobody's the wiser. So it can't hurt to try. So I really like that.
I sent someone a text just the other day, a thing that like I thought of, oh, I should say thank you for this. It was something that happened a long time ago, but it had come back up, and I thought I should just send her a text and tell her I remember that and I still appreciate it. And then before having talked to Nancy Davis Co., I might have been like, oh, I don't know, maybe I'm not going to do that. It might be weird.
Yeah.
No, I'm just going to send the text. And I just did. And it wasn't painful at all. It was fun. And then we had, then we were in touch, and I don't know. It's good for you. It's good for everybody.
I mean, because imagine how you would feel on the receiving end.
Yeah. So I wanted her to know that she made a difference. And when she made a difference in my life, it wasn't the only time, but I was thanking her for something happened when I was a freshman in high school.
Oh, wow.
It came up again because one of my kids was struggling with a very similar issue. And I just want to say, I never forgot that you did that for me. And I hope that there's somebody in my child's life who will do that for them. I mean, you don't forget when people show you a great kindness, but they don't know that. They think maybe you forgot sometimes. So just send the text or write the letter or pick up the phone if you're one of those people. I don't use mine for that, but you can pick up the phone.
No. Who would do that? Yeah. I told you how my daughter answers the phone. She doesn't even know how to say hello.
She just breathes.
She just like breathes real heavy until I'm like, Zoe, are you there?
My youngest does the same thing. He just picks it up. And you're like, hi.
Why is it ringing? I don't know what that sound is. Okay.
Talk to a person.
So that was our gratitude. And then we had episode 11, which was our spring break 1 year of COVID. That was kind of a glorified Tipsy Ellipses. We were just a little more professional.
Yeah, it was daytime.
It was daytime. That's true. It was daytime. Mm-hmm. But it was nice to think about all the people and the businesses and stuff that have meant so much to us. And we would just have spent like the past day tweeting a lot of those people, just because kind of in the idea of thank you. We talked about it in our podcast, but they didn't know that we appreciated them that much. So we decided to send them some tweets so they knew that we thought they were so awesome.
Yeah. And I think, again, like that's that whole idea that didn't take any massive effort, but it made me feel good to remember again. Like we had talked about it in the episode. It's not like I haven't even thought about it recently. We have been thinking about it recently, but to put it down in words again and type it again and say, oh yeah, just by the way, this restaurant or this nursery or whatever it was, it made a difference for me over the last year. It's a good reminder for me again, and felt good to say thank you.
Yes. And I mean, my main thing that came out of that is just knowing, I mean, it seemed like everybody that we were thanking that episode was a local restaurant. And it's just like, and there was some local nurseries and stuff as well, but so much more food related. And I think we take them for granted. I mean, how many times we went to Maudie's restaurant, Maudie's Hacienda on Brody, We went there pretty much every Friday for almost 10 years. So they were the first restaurant we went to when we first moved to Austin, and it just became like this place in our heart.
Yeah.
And we knew the waiters and the wait staff there and whatever, but I don't know that we ever like specifically went and said thank you and let them know that, like, oh my God, you're just such an important part of our lives. So just supporting, saying thank you. If you've got that waiter, waitress, or anyone on the wait staff, or anybody, the greeter that you see all the time, just let them know that they're a special part of your life. Nice, I think it would mean a lot.
Man who delivers our pizza almost every week.
See, and they're part of your life. I mean, and I don't think they realize that, like, yeah, they're not part of the, family necessarily, but they are part of your family experience and the ritual that you do. So I think it's special. They might think we're creepy, but who knows? We'll see. We overestimate how creepy we think that they'll find it, just like Nancy said.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good one. And then we had, let's see, episode 12 was Kelly Rippon. And so, do I have Kelly? Oh shoot, did I bring Kelly's book up? Oh, I did.
You still have your picture?
Boop. No, I got the whole
real deal now.
I need to deliver your book to you. Boop, boop,
we got to meet up and write thank you notes.
We do. We got to do all our thank you notes. Everybody for the past 3 months. Sorry, your thank you notes are on the way. So yeah, Kelly Rippon, Parent Up, which that was just such a great discussion. What did you come away with from that?
I was blown away by how many things she does and has done in her life. And I loved that idea that you're not just one thing. You're not just a mom, or you're not just a teacher, or, in her case, she's been a teacher. She's been a speaker,
a dancer, a dance instructor. Yeah.
She's done so many things. There's a lot of, it's not an either or, and it's not a stop and start. And she made that point a couple of times. Like, her life didn't stop and start 6 times when she had 6 kids. It was a continuum. And we're all on this continuum, and you are different things to different people at different times. And you can also turn all of that into a money-making opportunity. You can build a career off of that continuum, being all these things.
And I'm not going to jump ahead to Allison Tedford and the chronic pain, the one that just launched today. But both of them I thought were so interesting, because, you usually think that, no, I need to go have this 9-to-5 job that's a career, and I do that for 20 years.
Right.
And, if I have to ask for a break, then it's this big deal. And just the flexibility that they both managed to work into their work schedule, but still have an income, both single mothers, both not just kind of doing, foofy projects that, they're trying to do things that fulfill them and match up with their talents and things that they like to do. But they need the paycheck. It's not like something that, they're just getting to test out and try out.
Betting on themselves, which I'm sort of giving away a spoiler from Allison's episode. But
okay, we're not going to spoil the Allison, but no. But along those same lines, actually not along those same lines. I'm going a totally different direction with Kelly, and where I took it at the end of the episode, because Kelly is the mother of Olympic medalist Adam Rippon, who's ice skater and openly gay. And I was very curious because of her advocacy. And they had done a lot of, on Good Morning America, they had done kind of a coming out tribute, where she had written a letter of like what I wish I had done, or what, which I had done better, or just kind of a letter back to him about coming out. And so I had some questions from her, because I run a group called the Informed Parents of Austin, where we advocate for LGBTQ students. But I don't have that perspective, because as far as I know, I don't have LGBTQ kids. I am not in the community. So I wanted to hear from her, like, what, as this parent that's just kind of feeling my way through this, what's some advice that you would have for me to give to other parents in the group? And I loved her advice was, don't wait to become an ally. So don't wait until your kid comes out to become an ally. First of all, because if you do have an LGBTQ kid, I mean, she called it coming into the third quarter, which I thought was a really great, because she's a sports mom too.
Mom.
So yes, so it's the sports analogy. But you're trying to make up for all this lost time being like, oh yeah, I'm totally supportive. I just had never mentioned it for your first 18 years or your first 13 years or whatever. So I mean, so that's kind of hard. Just trying to build up that
Schindler's List thing where, you know, like first they came for this, but that didn't apply to me, and then they came for these people and that wasn't me. And like, you don't want to be that for your kids of like, well, yes, apply to me, because it applies to all of us. And sometimes you don't know how or where, because you don't know which people in your life maybe they haven't shared it with you yet. But yeah,
and I can guarantee you, and I just know this especially because I'm so open in my advocacy, so people will come to me.
Yeah.
If it is not your child, it will be one of your child's good friends.
Yep.
It will be one of your child's good friends' parents. It will be one of your child's teachers.
Yeah.
It will be someone or a coworker someday. And you need to show them. And that was one of her other great lessons, was this idea of leading by example in so many different ways. She used the example of honesty and making sure that you're teaching your kids. Yeah. Oh yeah. You got to listen to that story. That was really good. But leading by example and being an ally, sticking up for your friends. I just thought that was great. And she's going to be part of our Austin ISD. We've got Pride Week coming up in a few weeks, and she's going to join me for a parent panel to kick off Pride Week for AISD. So grateful for her for that. Yeah. And again, I keep on telling her, I was like, you know, school districts don't have budgets for their guests, so I'm just going to pimp out your book like nobody's business just to make up for it.
We will remind everybody before we sign off, which should be soon, but we're giving away a copy of that book.
Yes.
You just have to sign up by tonight. We might even give you a little wiggle room, like maybe by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. You just have to sign up to get our newsletter. And I think that's it. That's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're not making anybody work
and
hard.
Share a look, listen, learn. You're supposed to share a look.
Oh, yeah, oh, shoot. Yeah.
We need to put that back out on our, we'll do that after this too. Put that back out on our socials. But yeah, we're going to give away the book. It's a great book.
Yeah. And we only have a couple minutes left. So you know what? We already kind of talked about Allison.
Yeah.
The episode just went live today, episode number 13.
She was so much fun to talk to.
She was so amazing, but we will save her for next month's Tipsy Ellipses. So we will talk about that then, since we already kind of teased her now. And the episode, a lot of people maybe haven't had the chance to listen to it yet. So go listen to it, episode number 13. But we have a bunch of other awesome stuff coming ahead this month. Do you want to talk about some of that?
Oh, sure. Well, we have also talked about this many times because poor KJ
poor KJ. Oh my gosh.
But we did actually finally talk to KJ Dall'Antonia. And you have that book handy. I've got it back here.
I do. I got it. Chicken Sisters. Whoops. Is that upside down? The special lockdown edition.
So Chicken Sisters, ton of fun. Reese's book club pick. Great book. And then we had so much fun talking to KJ. So that is next week.
That is next week.
I think it's next week.
Yes.
And then we're talking to Kristen Van Ogtrop, who's a literary agent, and she was the editor-in-chief of Real Simple. So you may recognize her name if her letters every month, if you subscribe to the magazine during her time as editor-in-chief. Like one of the highlights of the magazine, I think.
Yes, she hasn't been there for a couple years, and but I miss her voice there. But I've been loving having her voice. Well, it's been on my phone. My husband keeps on thinking I'm scrolling through social media. I'm like, no, it's the did I say that out loud book. But yeah, I don't have the real book, but she gave us an advanced copy to be able to read before we chat with her. And oh my God, it's so good. And she also had the book Just Let Me Lie Down, which I also
great for working moms. I think
that one's still downstairs. It's downstairs. Okay.
Yeah, great for working moms. So that's a great one. And then we have some career life coaches. There's a lot of things still in the works, but
your questions have been great. Keep them coming.
Yes. We are like if you send us a question, we're getting it and we're keeping it. Like I'm not gonna I don't want anybody to be able to read all of this, but I mean we're saving lists, we're making lists.
Yeah. So I mean, we've got some nuts and bolts questions like, do I need a LinkedIn page, and what should I do on my LinkedIn page? What kind of training should I be either investing in, time or money to get back up to speed? If I've been a stay-at-home mom for so long, what do I need to do to get back up to speed? A lot of questions along those lines.
Yeah.
A lot of people who feel like their fields have become obsolete in the time that they've been away from the job track. And then just also kind of how do you get your mojo back? How do you get your groove back and your confidence and feeling like no one is I don't know. I feel it's very interesting. I heard someone say once that like, if you went back to your job you left 15 years ago today, people still remember the 15-year ago you. Like they don't know all the stuff that's happened. They haven't seen you covered and spit up. They haven't seen you wearing I still have my maternity pants on from Zoe. They're my yoga maternity pants. I used to wear it. That was 15 years ago.
They are so cool. In a pair of, I think they may be Pete age, like they're maybe 12-year-old. They were postpartum, so not maternity, but postpartum yoga pants, and they're so comfortable.
Yeah, they're so comfortable. And you know what? They're a little tight after all that sushi I ate. but people haven't seen that. And the people that you're interviewing for future jobs have not seen that. They're seeing the you that's coming in today. So it's just kind of getting rid of your own mental garbage of how you've perceived yourself, because the outside world has not seen that you. That's been fortunately kind of locked behind closed doors. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And again, kind of nuts and bolts, what do you do with your resume? How do you explain these gaps? So we've got some guests lined up. In fact, one that I just heard of, that it's going to be a couple months from now, but we'll get some other people lined up before that. So yeah, we've got some exciting stuff coming up for like really actionable advice. We've spent the first couple months really focusing on identity and some of those discussions. But now we're going to be diving into answering your questions and the coaches stuff. So you guys there's links for emailing us, for filling out the question form. If you go to the momandpodcast.com with Ann spelled out. Let me just finish off this one.
Spelled
out. There's a link for Ask Your Question. Is that what it's called? Ask a question. So you can do it there. You can just shoot us on our Facebook page. You can message us there, whatever is easiest for you. Or we even have a phone number on the website. If you're one of those people who actually uses phones, you can call and leave a message.
There it is.
Oh,
yeah, it's hard to see, but it's,
look at you.
What's your
phone number on there?
And then the phone number, I can find it. The phone number is 512-730-0835. 512-730-0835. We'd be kind of a kick out of you leaving us a message if you wanted to. I think that would be a thrill. And if you're okay with it, we might play it on the show, but you can say, please don't play this on the show if you don't want us to. But if you don't mind, we play your question. I think that would be so much fun.
Yes. And so, we're looking forward to it. Oh my gosh, in the research of finding some of the best coaches to reach out for you guys. There's so many amazing people out there answering a lot of these questions that you have, and we will be having them in the weeks and months ahead. And we're so excited to get answers for ourselves and for you. So,
and if you know somebody who is a coach, somebody you follow and really learned from and think we should talk to, give us that information too. Because there are a lot out there and we're trying to find everybody, but we might miss some. So send it on.
You want to get the very best. You deserve the very best. So let us know. And if you are a coach, reach out to us. We'd love to chat with you. Oh, wait a minute. I do one more shout out. I forgot to, I just looked at my notes. except for the fact I was going to talk about how I've completely let down my family for April Fools, and my son has started trying to fool himself by hiding stuff around the house. So that's a real disappointment. But I forgot to say when we were talking about haircuts, I love Annie Cobb, Peacock Salon.
Yes.
She's amazing. But the most amazing thing, I loved her salon, but they just are closing it down to turn it into businesses or apartments or what they're doing. So now she has this really small, intimate space. And it's gorgeous. It feels like as expansive and nice as a salon, but it's just you. So if anybody has been putting off a cut or a color or anything because you don't want to go into a salon with like a zillion people in there and whatever, you still wear masks. She's still very, very careful and safe about wearing masks, and she wears a mask. But you got the place to yourself, and it is like a full out spa. And go to my personal Facebook page, or no, my personal Instagram, my Suzanne Kearns Instagram. I posted some pictures. It's gorgeous, and I love her, and I've been going to her for 10 years. And the thing is, up until now, she hasn't been taking new clients forever because she owned the salon and she was so busy with that. Yeah. But now that she's on her own and not having to do the management of all these other hairstylists, so now she's got some time freed up. So Annie Cobb, COBB, her phone number is on my Instagram post, so go check her out if you're in Austin and need a haircut and don't want a bunch of people breathing on you.
Yeah, I wanted to shout out, I thought about that earlier and I totally forgotten, but I was looking at all these pictures. Here's one that's extra special. It just makes me laugh so hard. Why do I look like a middle-aged business lady in college?
Oh my God, me too. I used to buy like these suits and stuff that were designed for 50-year-old women when I was 18, and I was so cute. Why did I do that?
My college girlfriends and I talk about it all the time. We're like, the best years of our lives, we dressed business casual.
Yes,
like,
I should have been wearing my life.
I should have.
Yeah. I should have just been wearing like Lycra.
Yes. And I mean, I was turtleneck to long, tall boots, like head to toe covered. This was the only skin you saw. I mean, it's just nuts. But I was looking through all these hilarious pictures of uneven, weird bangs. And I was so, so thankful for Rebecca Irvine, who cuts my hair. Yes. And I don't know if she's taking new clients right now because she owns the salon and owns a number of salons. She's a superhuman person. We're going to have her on the show at some point. Yay. But she's in her 30s and is a business owner and is amazing. But she is going to be out on maternity leave sooner than later. I don't know that she's taking new clients right now, but she has Bex & Co. salons. I think there's at least 3. There may be 4 now, all over Austin. So there's one downtown. There's a Domain is the original one. There's one in Cedar Park, and I believe there's one somewhere else. So I'll put all that information out too. But yes, everybody who works at her salons is really amazing, and she runs a great business and takes good care of all of her people. And I don't really have any desire to own my own business. I don't think. Maybe, I don't know. I change my mind all the time. But if I were to own a business, I would take lessons from her because she's pretty.
Oh my gosh. Now, will this be her first baby?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah. Exciting. Yeah. And she and her husband also own a spin, Star Cycle is a spin studio.
Oh my God.
They're just, dynamos, just killing it. And they're kind and funny and super intelligent. But we'll put the information out there for the Bex & Co. salons as well, because
we do need to talk to her. I would love to hear from some moms who are doing like the brick and mortar, because we know a lot of people who are running business, and I'm not saying it's any less complicated to run one that's out of your home or that's more of a service providing, but there's a different element and there's different skills involved with something that is like a space, and you've got people that you are managing and rent to pay for the space.
And inventory and just it's so complicated. And
I would just love to hear.
We were talking about like storm recovery. When you own brick and mortar businesses, like that's scary, so scary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's incredible and just handles everything with grace. It's like, if I had everything going on that you have going on, I don't know if I'd be standing up.
So, yes, pretty especially pregnant. I wouldn't be standing up.
Oh, it was a lazy pregnancy.
You got your Gusto graphics cut. Oh, let's do shout out for Kelly at Gusto Graphics.
Oh yeah, that's another local company that's just amazing.
Oh, love that. Do I have my Dolly shirt? It might be dirty.
I have my.
Oh no, it's here. Fortunately, we're in the closet.
Yeah, it's in our closets. Just shopping for our Gusto graphics. This is my new one. Oh, there's your Dolly shirt.
Oh, I sent that one to France. I sent that one. I got that one. What else do I have?
And I have another new one, I think. Oh yeah, this one.
I've got my Austin t-shirt. Austin.
I love that one. Yeah, and I'm just waiting for it to be summer for this one.
Oh, I think my other ones are dirty. You know, the very first one I got from her. Oh, shoot, it's dirty too. Dang it. Oh no, here it is.
I know.
Was this a Gusto shirt? Yes, this was the very first one. This is how I discovered her.
That one's great. This is my summer swimsuit cover-up shirt.
Oh, cute.
Can't wait.
Okay. We've invited her to
in our closets.
We've invited her to be on an episode too, but I think we just kind of did it. Gusto graphic tees. There you go.
Yeah, we definitely need to have her on. They run such a cool business.
You know what we need to do though? We need to do it when we can safely go over there because I want to actually watch the screen printing process.
Yes.
Because all of the shirts are hand screen printed, which I just and on their Instagram account, it's so fun to watch when they do videos of it. But that's something that is just like, whoop, I don't even.
It's an art. It is such an art, and like this is such. There's all these fun tiny words in here, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna make a field trip. She doesn't know it, but we're gonna make a field trip over there in a few months.
Yeah, we'll just send her a message. Say we're coming.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I could talk to you for another hour, but I guess we should cut it off.
Yeah.
Now that we've given our shout outs, we've talked about the past month, we have looked ahead, we have shared embarrassing photos.
And it's only the tip of the iceberg of embarrassing photos. I was going through today and I was like, oh, holy moly. Like,
yeah.
Maybe every newsletter will have an embarrassing photo or two.
Yeah, this literally all of them were just from this one page that my mom gave me.
Oh,
my mom has done this thing. She's been doing it since college, where like every time she would come to visit, she would just like drop off a box of crap, and so whatever. And now she's doing it like one page at a time. Of like, I think now that she lives closer, she's spreading things out. Like instead of giving you the whole album,
this was, but my Nana got this album, and she just put pictures in it that were me. You know, me or like.
Aww.
But like every page is just little pictures from my life. It's not really in order. And it goes up through when I had my first child. Like, actually, I think there might be a picture from when I was pregnant with my second. But like I said, it's not in order. And then it just ends at one point. So I guess she got kind of tired of putting pictures in this book, but it's so sweet. And she's not with us anymore.
Your own pictures.
Little book that Nana made. So that's where I pulled all of these out of that today.
Oh, I love that. Well, I was just too lazy to go drive 5 minutes to my mom's house to get any more pictures. So I just picked up. Look, I even have my tassel in here from my. This is one of those like, portfolios that you buy when you graduate from high school. Yeah.
I wonder where that is.
Here's mine. Just apparently my mom got tired of looking at it because it got dropped off a couple weeks ago with some Tupperware she borrowed.
My parents totally cleaned out their house 2 years ago, or maybe it was almost 3 now, and they'd been in their house since I was 4, somewhere in there. And they updated it. It needed it. They'd done little updates over the years, but it was a 70s rancher. And so they redid it. And so when they did that, they kept showing up with like the entire back of their car just full of stuff. And it wasn't, do you want this? It was, here it is. If you want to get rid of it, get rid of it. If you want to keep it, keep it. But we don't want to hear about it.
You know what? Now that I have kids, especially like with the giant room full of Legos that don't get used anymore, I totally appreciate that. I totally get it. And yeah, my mom moved out of her house of 40 years in the middle of the pandemic and moved across the country. And yeah, so now it's an adorable like condo, but yeah, she doesn't have space for my 1990 high school graduation thing anymore. So as much as I give her a hard time, I'd be like, yeah, You decorate it how you want. Please do not take up space with this crap anymore. Because you know what? I don't even want it. So nobody else will want it. So
some of what my parents brought over was really fun to go like look through. But I just looked through, relived it for a minute, and then it was gone. I don't need to store it either. Because someday my kids are going to have to clean it out, or whoever they hire to clean it out, because I don't know that either one of my boys is going to come clean out my stuff.
Oh, they don't respect their elders. Oh my goodness. Okay, Missy,
we gotta go.
We're gonna find like every excuse in the world to keep stalling.
Yeah. Sign up for the newsletter, people, and you could win a copy of Kelly Rippon's book.
Boop, boop. Parent up, inspiring your child to be your best self. But it truly is. She was talking about this, but it is so true. It's like inspiring your self to be your best self. It doesn't have to be your child. These apply to any humans of any age. So
yeah, totally does.
Yeah, you don't need kids to enjoy this book, but I guess if you don't have kids, you're probably not watching this. You're not listening to this podcast. So
that's true. Unless you're just getting really
yeah. You know what? I'm just stalling now because I don't want to have to go watch the Mariners game. So
you need to go hydrate though.
I might just stay in the closet. Yeah, I do not need. You know what we have left? We've got leftover sushi, which is not a good idea, but we have like a whole cheesecake. It came with the sushi. We had one. Oh, I have some of my dessert left. Okay, yeah, I need to go.
Yeah, go drink some water, eat some sugar.
Yeah, I'm gonna go eat the rest of my dessert. It was really good.
And I'm gonna go finish our newsletter so that I can send it to you to make sure I'm not crazy.
No. All right.
Well,
thank you everybody for showing up. Once again, if this is your first visit to the Mom and podcast or video, this is the Tipsy Ellipses version. Usually we have a guest, and usually we are not tipsy. and it's a little more structured. But okay, so I'm going to try to wing the outro here. What do we usually say in our outro? Thank you for joining us. If you have enjoyed this, be sure to share it with a friend. You can find us on all the socials. Yeah. What socials are we out? So we are actually, you know what? I can't remember all the socials. So just go to mom and spelled out AND podcast.com, and there's links to all the socials there. Yeah. The most important one where this is running as a video and not just the podcast is in our Mom and Community Facebook group, a private group. So you got to be like, know the secret handshake and ask permission and put this to play nice. Yeah, we don't
ask to join, and you are in.
Yeah, that's
and be nice once you're in, and then you get to stay.
Yes, and then you can stay. And yeah. And our outro music is so cute. So why don't you just sit here and listen to our outro music for a while?
We will get through this. I love the title of it. We will get through this.
We will get through this. I know. What are they called? The Young Presidents?
Yeah, Young Presidents. And it's so kicky and happy and cute.
They are a husband and wife. Mm-hmm. And I think our theme song at one point was an ad for a Sunglass Hut TV commercial in like 2019. So
I know that.
I'll enjoy that.
I love sunglasses.
I know. Maybe we could get a deal. So no, they seem very nice. I did a thorough background check on them before we gave our $50 to them for the rights to this song. And they seem like a lovely couple. So yeah, Young Presidents, right? Mm-hmm. Young Presidents. We will get through this.
And we listened to a bunch of their stuff before we picked that song. It's all really good.
It is all really good. So yeah, we might just play the extended version. Just sit here and enjoy it for a while. We'll dance along to it. Sometimes I sing it. Sometimes I just hum it around the house. So enjoy.
All right.
Well,
good night, everybody.
Good night, and go Mariners.
I'm ending now.